Hey everyone, it's Theriault-Your, your Maine real estate guide, and today it's it's a slightly overcast day, but a nice day nonetheless. You'll probably see a few black flies flying around, maybe a mosquito or two, because it is that season. But I'm here in Springfield. I just met a gravel contractor up here to have him walk in and take a look at the mess I've got with my road, to be sure that my plan is kind of like has a chance of working as far as drying out the road and draining off the water and rebuilding the area that needs to be rebuilt so the road's better, more, and we'll stay that way for a while. And he's kind of on board with my plan. Thought it would be fine. But let me show you where we're at here. Things have dried out a little bit, but still down that area that I pointed out in my last video, where I need to put a culvert, it's still quite wet, and definitely we'll have to get that culvert in there when, probably in a couple 3 weeks, I'll probably do that. But this is a busy time of year, between trying to keep the grass mowed at the house and real estate business, everything happens. So thankfully the days are long up in this part of the world. The longest day of the year coming up here in June, so get a little bit more time, at least during the day, to get things done. So here's that wet area in the road, and you can see, I still in the ruts there in the road. It's standing water, and and because it's standing water and the road's wet, it's very soft. So even if I tried to drive my truck in here, I'd be able to make it, but it would be a rough ride, and I would just tear up the road more. So I need to put that culvert in. This seems to be probably, well, it's muddy there. It seems to be the best location right about here. Trench it out across the road and get that water to drain off here on the lower side of the road and out of the road. I've got an uncle that works for Irving Corporation as a road contractor, and he's spent the last 40 years of his life, I think, building logging roads for Irving Corporation. And and he says the key to building a road is water management, and so that's what we need to do, is put a management plan in place to manage the water that is collecting along the edge of the road and get it away from it. And then I'll have a road that will be a little more pleasant to ride on. So right now she's pretty soft and pretty rough. See, in this section of road here, this is just before my gate, and there at that corner, that's kind of where it starts to dry out. So the road's it's rutted here, but it's a lot firmer because there's no water standing in it, and so that's good. So just having some material in here to fill in these ruts and build this road bed up about 10 inches or so will make a big difference. But we got to take care of that water at the top with a culvert. So that's probably my first major project here in a couple of weeks, is to get my tractor loaded. I got to get my backhoe reattached to the Kubota, and then there's a place in Lincoln that sells culverts, and I'll stop in and pick up a couple culverts, and then we'll get one in. That'll get me to the gate, and then once I get that taken care of, then I'll put another culvert in right about here. You can see that standing water over there on that side, and it's in that whole area there where all those ferns are. That's all wet ground. It's all spring fed. So I just need to pop that culvert in, and the terrain drops off downhill here on this side here. So once I get the water going across, that'll dry out this section of road, And then once I repair this, I got, maybe 150 feet of road here. The rest is good. So, so I got to fix my road to my gate, and then another 150 feet or so, and then the rest of it's pretty good. And so we'll be in good shape. But I got some work to do. I do have a couple other projects in the works. Now this is it is an off-grid property, so I'm going with propane appliances, and I ordered a propane refrigerator. I actually paid for it, I guess, already. So the dealer's a propane distributor as well, so they're going to come out and deliver the refrigerator, and then we'll run new propane lines and put a couple manifolds up there for 100-pound cylinders that I can manage in my pickup truck, and because you're not going to get a bulk propane truck up here to fill my tank. But I need to fix my road to get them in here, because they're not going to come in and beat their truck up on my road. So I got to make the road passable. And so hopefully I can get this done so I can get them in here early to mid-July and get that little project checked off. And then what else we got planned for this summer in here? It's kind of a punch list of things to do. So I got the back shed on the camp, and a friend of mine that helped me put the covered porch on the front of the camp last year, he's planning on coming out and giving me a hand repairing the roof on that shed. And so we'll put a metal roof there, and then I got to clean up around the cabin a little bit. There's some old firewood there that's all rotted, really not much good at all. And so I'll haul that off with the tractor and dump that in the woods and let it finish turning into mulch. And then I want to build a little wood shed adjacent to the camp to store some firewood and keep it out of the elements. But we do have a visitor, little mama bird there. I think it's some sort of swallow, I'm not sure. Is taking up residence here on the covered porch. Nice place to raise her babies. Hopefully they eat insects, because there's plenty of them. Well, so when I return here in a couple weeks to put that culvert in, and then I got a couple of days to clean up around the cabin, the exterior here. Let me show you what I mentioned some of that stuff when I walk in. I got some remnants of old firewood that's long since gone, and old tarps. I got to haul that stuff off. And under these tarps here, most of that firewood is just sopping wet and mostly rotted. So I want to clean all that up, get rid of some of these cinder blocks and clean this area up. And I'll probably end up putting a small wood shed kind of in the area where this tarp is. It doesn't have to be very big. I only need, because I'm just going to be using this seasonally in the hunting season. So if it'll hold a cord of firewood, dried, cut and split, I think that's plenty. So we'll build a little shelter there for firewood. Got to trim this tree. This will probably end up being some of the firewood that's in there, and we'll take care of that. But looking forward to making some more progress on the camp here in Springfield. Got a lot of work to do, but we've come a long way since we started the renovation last year. Tearing off the rotted deck and jacking up the camp and trying to level it out and installing vinyl plank flooring and tearing out the kitchen cabinets and putting up V-match on the interior. I do need to put some polyurethane on the V-match. That'll be a project I want to do, but I need to get my truck in here to do that, I guess. So first step is get that culvert in and start the road repair, so that getting in here is a little easier. I guess I could walk in here with a gallon of poly and a paintbrush and go to work, and I may end up having to do that, but I'm gonna try to get this road taken care of and make it a lot better. But you can see, like, this section of road here, it's a lot better than that front section, that first section. Oh, there's rough grouse as we head here. We got because the road's higher, the water's managed better. It's ditched on both sides predominantly, so it doesn't hold water in the center of the road. There's a low spot here and there that could stand to have a little gravel thrown in, but overall it's a pretty decent roadway. Much better than that front section, but we will make it better. Oh, for those of you that were tuned in to the first episode of Living the Dream 2025, saw me planting 30 of these bare root oak trees, and you can see that they're starting to leaf out. So hopefully all of them take. I don't expect that. I would expect some mortality, but if they get intermittent rain and but they leaf out so that they can get some photosynthesis going. You know, the first year of a bare root tree is really predominantly spent on, growing underground, so they need wet leaves sprout to provide energy and nutrients so that the minimal amount of root that is down in the ground starts to expand outward. And then next year we should see, if they get established here this summer, we should see some pretty good growth, hopefully. We'll check out a couple of others of those plantings and see how they're doing on our way back to the truck here. So over here, planted one. This is kind of a damp area, so it's got plenty of water, and it is growing. I don't know if you see that right there. About an inch of sprout there. That top bud, that's looking good. Planted a couple over here where they get more sun. What we got going on over here? Yep, so the buds are swelling and popping, so it's looking good right now. There's life there. This one here is looking really good. It's growing quite a bit. Right? It's put on 5 or 6 inches of growth. So that one's doing real well. Well, that's a plus. So hopefully the others that I got scattered throughout the woods are doing equally as well, because that I checked 4 of them, I guess, and they were all growing. That's really good. They did have some help from Mother Nature with rain. Last week it rained like every day, so they didn't dry out at all. I think we're supposed to get some more rain over the weekend, so they'll get a good soaking again. But I'll be happy to see those oak trees growing. Next year hopefully we'll get a couple of feet of growth or more. The first 8 or 10 years they're going to grow pretty rapidly, but again, this year a lot of the growth that's going to be happening is going to be below the surface of the earth. So I don't expect to see too much. I just want to see that they're alive. Right now I'm pretty pumped. So I apologize for not having a lot of content this week. Been really busy with real estate and taking care of the house at home. It's going to be probably quiet for a week or so. Hopefully I'll have a good video when I get back. I'm headed off with a friend of mine up in pursuit of Atlantic salmon up in New Brunswick and Quebec for a week. So hopefully we'll have a fish tale or two to tell you. But until next time, this is Rick Theriault, your Maine real estate guide on location in Springfield, Maine.